Your Psychic Astrocast by YILDIZ Readings 5D, your psychic medium, soul coach, and intuitive astrologer online. Do you want it all in one place? Are you tired of getting less and really wanting more? Are you ready for a better ride? The First Wives Club says it best: don't get mad, get everything. If you're ready for your guidance from point A to point B in love, career, wellness, and more, join our Psychic Astrocast with YILDIZ Readings 5D. Let's get your life roadworthy and ready for success. Get it all with psychic updates, intuitive astrology, soul coaching, and more. Information is power. Welcome to our Psychic Astrocast online with YILDIZ Readings 5D. Yes, we are going to dive into the what, why, where, when, and how, and have a look at what's coming up this month to best navigate it. We'll first look back at last month to make some sense and context of it, and then into the must-know transits for the month. Yes, we have all areas covered. You can stream forward and stream back to the area of concern, and please feel free to visit us online at yildizreadings.com for your VIP edition. These are covered bi-monthly, and yes, as I mentioned, in the future, these may become a weekly edition. Now, those of you that are keen to really understand what went down last month to help you best navigate moving forward, especially if you were really up in your head to do with a particular area in your life, I'm going to help you make some context of that. Separately, we're then going to get straight into the updates for the big boy transits for the month of July 2022. If you do wish to, you can stream forward into the section that you find is most interesting or important to you at this point in time. Without further ado, let's take a look down memory lane. Now, yes, we did have quite a heavy transit last month, and especially due to the fact we were having a double Mercury retrograde. Even though it did go direct by the 3rd, shadow direct, it was a double Mercury retrograde. And during Mercury retrogrades, as we all know, they can be quite tedious. This one, being a double whammy, did cause a lot of conflict. We may have seen in the collective, in our working environment, lack of staff, extra burdens with their schedules, stress levels, and conflict mentally and physically. We had a full moon on the 14th in Sagittarius. Now, yes, this again did take us back to the past, all the way back to the eclipse season in 2021. So if you can remember back, very much linking to when we had a Venus retrograde, we did have an eclipse in Sagittarius. So psychically, I was picking this would feel a little bit like an eclipse, and it was because it was ending that cycle. So if you can think back to 2021 and situations that you personally were dealing with, you were closing that cycle. Now, Neptune also was gearing up, ready to go retrograde by the 28th of July. This did come very close to that new moon in Cancer, which are the themes that we will be moving into the month of July 2022 with. The other thing I can say is, due to the fact we are so close at the end of the month moving into July with that, those are themes that will continue into the month of July 2022. This can be a time where things become very transparent, very realistic. Initially, we may experience it and feel a little bit disillusioned, unsafe, and projectile. So, forewarned, forearmed. Now, the must-know for July 2022, as mentioned previously, is the recovery of Neptune retrograde. During that cycle, in the area of Pisces, you will be quality assuring and taking a very realistic approach. Retrogrades don't have to be negative. They're a time of introspection and adjustment. This month, we have a full moon in Capricorn and a new moon in Leo. We also have JUNO, the asteroid of marriage, moving retrograde, which can at a collective level cause triggers within relationships, be it you're single or couple. Those blasts from the past, like Venus retrograde, can occur. I'm hosting a webinar on the 12th if you want that added support. Moreover, this does retrograde on the 24th of July. Deep healing, we do have Aries in Chiron moving retrograde on the 19th of July. This also can be a time where we can reflect, we can heal, and we can gain extra courage to deal with any of those emotional challenges. Jupiter also by the 19th will move retrograde when it does come to expansion, transformation, and jumping in the deep end. We may feel that we're going backwards. Now, this doesn't have to be a negative thing. This can be a time within our charts and within our lives where we are reflecting and quality assuring those actions and steps forward for 2024. Hi, beautiful Libras. Welcome to our Psychic Astrocast online with YILDIZ Readings 5D. Yes, we do have the VIP edition that is found via yildizreadings.com. Now, we're going to have a look at your love domain in the first 2 weeks of July 2022. How can I explain it? Let's break this down. Number one is we did have Neptune going retrograde at the very end of last month, and it was hitting your 6th house placement. So emotionally, with the Mars transits at the moment, a lot of you can be recovering. A lot of you might have your nerves at your wits' ends, and there could be dramas relating to other areas of your life at the moment that are putting pressure on you. Now, you can have secret admirers coming out of the woodworks and advances that maybe are a little bit unwarranted at this point. I also feel with the blast from the past, it is acting like Mercury retrograde. And, you would be forgiven to think that it wasn't Mercury retrograde. These things are happening due to our transits retrograding. So with Neptune retrograding in Pisces, we can have these blasts from the past coming back, but we're also going to see from what axis a person is kind of coming from. So there'll be a lot of transparency. There'll be a lot of maybe people gossiping, seeing things through media, looking at people's demeanor and their attitudes, and you'll be really meditating on if that fits your needs. Now, as we do move to the 5th, we are having Mars transit into the house of Taurus, and this can make you super spicy and, yes, sometimes a little bit aggro. You might really want to go into hermit mode emotionally because you might feel people don't understand you. You also will be working on your health and wellness, getting fit and getting your vibe up. As we do move into the month, you are going to feel that you have more energy, and you're going to have to gauge it because you're going to have a lot on your plate and you might be pulled in multiple directions. By the time we move to the 2nd week, again, self-esteem related dynamics can come up. And this doesn't have to be a negative thing. You could get to a point you're very matter of fact and you're blunt and you're saying things as they are. You also, as we do move forward, are really looking for brighter waters, and you might want a holiday. You could be attracting a person from a different culture. I also feel as we move to the full moon in Capricorn on the 13th, it's really entering that zone, you may want to go into hermit mode. This could be just something that happens to you. You also could have a time that you are making amends with family members. I do feel from an emotional point of view, if you feel misunderstood, this is an opportunity to talk through those situations. Now, later in the month, we are having the marriage asteroid Juno move retrograde, and this will be really a time where you will be reflecting upon how people directly impacted you in your love life. It's transiting through your 6th house. Neptune currently is in the same location. The notion is the gods must be crazy. So if there were individuals in your life that drove you a little bit batty or made you feel like a rat in a cage, we could be, with Mercury in Gemini until the 5th, feel a little bit defiant. We might be more nurturing as we move forward, and we definitely can have things to do with, okay, what part of the planet am I located on and where am I meant to be? That answer, Libra, will come to you during the month. We do dive deeper into this inside the VIP edition online, and yes, it is a podcast. Let's have a look at couples. Couples, big changes happening in the area of love. Yes, as I mentioned in singles, the marriage asteroid this month is going to be going retrograde. And if you were trying to do the eat, pray, repeat and having a lot on your plate and you're trying to get structured and organized, some of you could be moving home. Some of you could be dealing with subjects around family and home. And this can be on both sides of the fence, so that could be the problem at the moment. I especially see there's things changing with your love interest, and that can be relating to their family or their finances. And with this transition over, some intensity can come in the first week. So we do need to be really careful how we tackle that. Big warning dates, the 2nd and the 3rd. As we do move to the 2nd week, this can be a time that you're looking at the bigger picture. And I do feel as we move towards the full moon in Capricorn, there can be a circumstance that does come to a head. You do need to be careful how you communicate this month, and I do feel, Libras, most of you do. So I think you're going to handle it fine, but the energies can be super sensitive due to the fact that we have Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Now, yes, misunderstandings are possible, as well as the good old green-eyed monster, and that can be coming from either side of the fence. The defiancy potentially can be coming from the transits in Gemini. We did have Venus in the house of Gemini. We also have Mercury in the house of Gemini until the 5th, where it moves over into the house of Cancer. So this can be anything to do with beliefs, thoughts, conversations, who does what. Also emotions relating to the past, as well as how we directly feel about ourselves. But overall, I do see you being quite spicy this month, and the chemistry can be super high, especially as Mars moves into the 8th house for you. Now, the caution would be caution of communication, caution of reactivity and emotions. Things could get a little bit heated and potentially not in a good way. The big test on relationships collectively will come further in the month, which we will be feeling the shadow of Juno moving retrograde. I will cover that in the next update. You can find that this for you is going to be quite unique. How does it impact you? How do the people in your life, the situations and your routine directly impact you? And are you on the same page? We'll see in episode 2. Now, some of you in the career factor might have transitioned into a very brand new position. This can be a very active time for employment for those of you that are unemployed, as well as starting home-based businesses, starting hobbies, really nurturing those projects and going in a new direction in career. After our previous new moon in Cancer, this theme will play out during the month as we do move over to the full moon in Capricorn, and you can have a very active month in your career sector. Now, we do have Mars in the house of Gemini until the 5th of July 2022, where it transitions over to your 8th house. Now, this still will link to the 7th house, so you can have a lot to do with finances, building your net worth, increasing your wealth, and yes, money can be coming from strange and unusual places. You can have expenses, and there is a lot to do with the past that we're cleaning up. You can say we are dusting out those cobwebs. Now, some of you might have experienced expenses in the previous month that you're still clearing out. You may find this does clear up as we proceed forward, but you will need to keep your P's and Q's about you. This is a bold month for getting paperwork in order, extending yourself beyond the realm of where you thought possible. Yes, you will be really enhancing the career sector this month, and you can have great benefits from it. Be it the money is directly coming from an investment, a property, savings, you name it, it's coming. So your purpose and your career sector is going to be very active, and you're going to have to stay as productive as possible. Brand new launches are possible, and bode best very much early on in the piece, especially for the month of July. We may, after such, miss that portal and need to wait for a later time, potentially 2024. If you do want to dive deeper into your update for your career sector and other, yes, I do cover it in the VIP edition that does dive into your business sector for those of you that do run a business, as well as Twin Flame Path. Let's have a look at your next update. Now, the inner healing that comes up during transits. Yes, we did have Neptune move retrograde, and it is important to really keep your fluid up in the first week to 2 weeks and throughout the month. That is because later on, Juno is moving retrograde. This can be a time that we are trying to get balanced, and especially emotions can come up You do need to pace yourself because you will have quite a lot on your plate this month, especially high activity when it comes to what you need to do in your day-to-day routine, situations surrounding family, as well as trying to balance any other things that you have going on, e.g. work. I do feel you may be a bit triggered in the first week, and this may be, you could take it personal. Let's say that. You could take it personal. I do feel it's a good time to clean shop, get organised, and get outside and get some sunlight if you do have 2.5. I also feel with the communication factor, you may need to go easy on it. You could be dealing with wellness, and later on in the month, as Aries and Chiron goes retrograde, anything that was hidden or needed resolving, you may find you're able to more readily take action. You can find, for those of you that have heavy cycles, it can be a little bit more so this month for fem energies. And I also see the heart-centered energy as a bit of a trigger this month. So try and look after your heart chakra and your solar plexus as I do dive deeper into it in the VIP. Let's have a look at the predictions of what I see for you in the month. And if you want to visit us, come through to YILDIZreadings.com. I feel instinctually you're kind of feeling you won't be where you are right now, and that feels like you're going to have a major event in your life. Some of you could feel a little bit anxious, like you're not wanting to repeat a cycle or something's going to be doom and gloom. Look, I do feel it's almost like your subconscious mind might think something, but very separately, it's almost like your gut instincts are saying that something big is coming and something big is going to be different. And I feel that can be causing some nerves. And I know from a psychological point of view, the serotonin and the vibes of what we get when we're excited is the same as when we're anxious. So I feel psychologically you might be tuning into something that's really positive, but be taking it as something negative. And that's what I'm seeing, you know, that's the best way to describe what I'm sensing here right now. I do think it's a brand new chapter you're entering into, and it is making you feel some sort of angst. I feel a lot of nostalgia. I do feel a loved one that is passed over is actually guiding you. And I feel if you were really missing that person and wondering if they'd seen the progression of your life, I do feel they're directly there. I do feel there's concern for some of you to do with the feminine energy. This could be a sister, a mother. Yeah, it could be a karmic individual. I do feel it's going to pass, though. I feel you might have a candid conversation. You also could have a make-up with a close friend or a family member. Do you see somebody moving away? And this is actually ushering in some brand new friends into your life, but you have some apprehension and trust. I do feel it's going to be a surprise bump into somebody also. We'll check in with it next volume. Take care. Thanks for joining our Psychic Astrocast online with YILDIZ Readings 5D. If you haven't downloaded the app, please do so. Yes, you can actually get your posts on the go. Bookings, webinars, updates, notifications, and more. We also provide YouTube notifications if you didn't know. Yes, we will see you for each edition online with YILDIZ Readings, potentially more to come. Have a blessed month.